Okay, so just a quick test here. Stumbled on this. I think this would be a good example of something to see how this new Inception Labs model can do here. This diffusion-based language model, if you haven't seen this yet, a new take on how you can generate code, for example, or text. Anyways, I've got this WebSocket code that I'm setting up here in Lua. I had ChatGPT do this already, so I'll use that as a comparison, but basically a huge set of enumeration values or constants that I want to generate a table for. In fact, it'll look like this when it's done here. Hopefully it looks similar to this. So I want to see if Inception, with the exact same prompt as I gave ChatGPT, which would be right here. So make me constants for this in Lua. And I gave an example of the first one, and then I dumped the huge table here that I grabbed from the HTML. I want to see how this model can handle this. So I'll just paste in the exact same message and we'll just see what happens here. I mean, this thing is crazy fast. The question is it crazy accurate as well? And this looks like it's off to a good start, actually. It even put in the little descriptions here next to the items, which, hey, that's even better, actually. So let's copy this here. Oh, and if you didn't know, by the way, basically what happens is it generates noise and random data, essentially, and then it denoises that to produce text at the end of the day. It has a neural net as well, as what I understand, to kind of validate the text that comes out. And so it's a different approach that can basically generate a ton of text in parallel, if you will. Instead of one word or token at a time, it can generate a whole chunk of text. All right, so I'm going to just paste over the top of the one that ChatGPT did. And yeah, I don't need the example it gave here at the end of how to use it, but that's fine. All right, so best way to test this, close out, do a diff, and take a look at that. Every single value was parsed correctly from the HTML, and it added a description of every single item. And just glancing at some of the descriptions, they look correct here. So if I split the screen to validate that, come back over to the HTML, come up to the top. This is a huge chunk of HTML, just grabbing the text here. By the way, this is actually really confusing to just throw out the model, because when you select this text and dump it in a list, it all just blends together. It's hard to see where the delineation is, because when you copy it, you don't have these little horizontal dividers here. But anyways, all right, so just to validate a few here, unknown status should never be used. There you go. Maybe pull this one right here, the missing request type, copy this. That didn't match exactly. Oh, there you go. Okay, just a couple extra spaces. So yeah, looks like it did the exact same thing. That's pretty darn impressive. So that means that this is actually seeming to shape up to be maybe a viable model or approach for generating code in this case. In fact, that seems to be their emphasis right now. All right, so just for comparison, I'm going to have ChatGPT do that again here. Same prompt. I just want you to see the speed differences here. Whoa, sorry. And it switched up here, darn it. So this is actually going faster than the first time that ChatGPT did this, but you can see it starts to slow down there. Getting maybe one line every 2 or 3 seconds. Maybe one line a second if I'm generous. But you can definitely tell that the speed between the two is just light years apart. This is so much faster here using the Inception model. I'd say this generated at least 2 or 3 times faster. It's got one more here I want to do here. Copy this last one. It's a long one as well. So I just noticed something really cool with Inception. They really have a polished chat interface. What I mean by that is, watch here when I paste that in. So I didn't just paste in straight up text here. Because I pasted straight from the HTML, it actually turned it into probably Markdown, I'm assuming. It's even got it styled here. And so now when I make this request here, it probably will have an easier time parsing it, because it's got some of the structure of the bullets and whatnot. So yeah, turn this into Lua Coda, table of constants. There you go. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize there's actually 2 separate items here. I just glossed over that. See how we got output state, and I must have just glossed over. Is there a second? Yeah. OBS media input action. I missed the fact that there are actually 2 tables. It got it correct here. That's cool. What's up with the text though? Is there not a value? Okay. It's all text. So the value is text. So it got that correct too. That's great.